of agenda, right?
Right.
Like, he's super black and white. Like,
I collect gold jewelry.
Things. He's like. He's like super into finance and technology, right?
Right.
And to him, he's like, I collect $100 bills.
Sure.
Like, that's it.
I collect money.
Like, that's his thing. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, I get what you're saying. Because, like, as Americans, we tend to have an abundance of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a fuckload of toys on your wall right now.
Yes.
It's cool. And I get it. Like, I'm down. Like, I like cars. I have, like, shit that I collected when I was a kid. Like, baseball cards and, like a small stack of comic books and shit that I just wasn't willing to get rid of.
What can we do to fucking...
I think we should buy cables. Because it's this. Like, it's the XLR connections are fucking junk.
We need to be podcasting in a bubble.
Just don't touch the table.
Zero
G podcast.
Yeah.
You know what we need is a Joe Rogan setup.
Which would be, I mean, it's like... Well, I have the...
You have the booms.
Yeah,
the little booms.
The hanging.
Yeah. I think the problem is the cables, though. I think the cables are chintzy.
You think so? Okay. I'll look into a better cable.
Yeah. How long of a cable do you need?
Well, I got the super long one so that we were able to take it into the living room.
Oh, that's right.
So, I mean, essentially all I need is from here to here.
So, like a 6-footer would probably do it for the table.
Right, and the next thing you know, we got a different setup somewhere else.
I'll talk to my dad and see if he has any stuff left.
Okay.
Because he bought a bunch of good stuff, and see what he has.
Sure.
See if that makes any difference before you spend money on it.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, so I was talking about like collecting stuff. Like, we have an abundance of shit, like, in our houses, and really you don't need any of it. Like, you don't need any of that. We don't need like I have fucking quote unquote collector beer bottles that I picked up when I was a kid because they were cool.
Right.
We'll collect just about anything. I have a bunch of vintage game systems like you do that just sit there and they hang out because I like them.
Because you don't have enough time in the day to really do something with it.
Right.
Which is why I put in, like, there weren't shelves there before, remember?
Yeah, there was the 2 pictures that you can't tell if they're upside down or not.
So, I mean, what happened was we signed a new lease, and I'm like, okay, I know we're definitely staying here for at least a year. I'm going to display my shit.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, you put it up, and then when you take it down, you throw some spackle on the wall, you paint it over, and call it a day. If you're worried about it.
Not worried about it at all.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, if you were worried about your deposit or punching a hole in the wall, it's like, who fucking cares?
Right.
Like, eventually, somebody's going to punch a hole in the wall somewhere.
Right.
And you can fix it. It's not like you damaged anything. So, no, I think you did a good job. Get yourself a little, black felt or something.
Put it behind it?
To put...
No, what I would like to do
is put on the top of the shelf and then over the top of the 2x4 so that it doesn't show.
Okay.
But it'll also contrast between the front and the back. And it'll actually pop the figures a little bit.
It'd be nice to do, like, the lights, string the lights that they have. Like the strip lights.
Yeah. Like some little LEDs.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be super sick. You could do, like, they make, like, cheapy ones that have just, like, sticky back.
Yeah.
And then you run them to an outlet, and you just plug them in down there, and there's a little button or something like that, turns them on, and you can just display all your shit, and it would all be lit. That'd be cool. I like the idea.
Definitely. So, yeah. Oh, look, Greg's watching.
Hey, Gregory.
So, Cory, no bitch fest today, all right?
No bitch fest. We're just going to have fun.
We're not going to talk about work.
Let's just have fun. Fuck work. So, that's one thing I will say. Going on vacation, so last week I went on vacation.
Oh, you know what we got coming up? We got we got Halloween coming up.
Halloween is coming.
We got October and the Halloween and the yearly Halloween episode. So we gotta.
I see dead people.
I've got to figure out.
We'll get something together and we'll do like a.
Well, I know what I want to do.
special haunted episode.
So we've run out of stories.
I don't know. You can find somebody.
No, we'll do. No, we'll. I want to do the short story readings that I did like years and years and years ago, where like when I had someone over, once we were done, I had you read a couple short stories, and then I cut them together, and that's the Halloween story. So episode.
Sweet. That'll be fun.
So we'll do that. I don't know why I have this up or down.
It's so you can talk to the Red Leader.
So I'm Matt Bonta.
And I'm Cory Easley.
Welcome to the Sequel Podcast.
We're back again.
God, there's so much to cover. We're gonna drop some specials today.
Drop some special.
I got something to drop today. So
Are you gonna drop it like it's hot?
I'm gonna drop it for the cast and crew of Not in the Dark, not Street Toughs.
Street in the Dark.
Street in the Dark, Not in the Dark. So there's going to be a new. Greg, you were in the last one.
So you have to come over.
You read
for
the
this
H.P.
one.
Lovecraft one. And he had a hard time with that story too because it was full of a bunch of made up words.
Verbiage. Yeah.
I got a new trailer for Not in the Dark that I will be unveiling today.
Woo woo.
So,
it's gonna be on the tubes.
Yeah, I mean we can watch it right now, and then I can make it available.
We could do that.
All right, everybody.
Here it comes.
We will be watching the trailer for Not in the Dark, and I will post it. I will make it available to watch.
Go into those woods. Sure damn.
I'm going camping, hunting, fishing, and fucking.
We're supposed to be focusing on this awesome week out.
This is gonna be awesome, bro.
Look, I'm just on my way home with dinner for my brother. Maybe I should take a closer look inside.
Fuck, you might even find some weapons of mass destruction.
I definitely like the visual quality better on this one. Because I think the ones I've watched before were not rendered.
No.
This is definitely looking more interesting than the previous cuts.
Jamie,
More
come
well
back!
built. Shaky cam. Scary. Oh shit. Actually put a little monster action in there. Well done.
I figured the movie's premiered.
Is he supposed to be eating pussy right now? Him too.
Talk about this. Do it, motherfucker! Do it! I ain't no bitch! I ain't afraid of you!
Does he piss his pants?
What the fuck is going on here?
As soon as I get out of here, we'll see who the last victim was before I say anything.
You can't kill her with all of us as witnesses.
Pull your goddamn brains out.
Ooh, ninja roll. That was a little grittier, a little bit more retaining, more interesting.
I like it when chicks get in the same shit as me.
I like it when chicks get in the same shit as me.
Like get into the same shit as me.
I'll go with that.
So
Sounds dirty, like something you would write.
it's not that dirty though.
It sounds dirty though.
So there it is. There's the trailer, the new trailer for the movie.
Watch it up.
I was hoping for like an October 25th movie premiere,
Right.
but no, he hasn't.
Nope.
Greg, it's you, me, Casey, Alexis, who plays Eve, and Paul, who plays the Marine in the movie, are the only ones who've seen it, as far as the movie goes. Anyone who went to Vegas saw the movie, so.
There you go.
And not the Greg Kleinow cut. Greg edited that trailer last night for like 5 hours.
It looks super dope.
And then he did another kind of like
once over
on the movie after I showed it in Vegas and was like disappointed. So
we are
our own worst enemy, our own
greatest
worst critics.
Worst critics. I forget how the saying goes.
So Greg did a cut that is vastly superior than.
I mean, Greg is better at that than.
Well, like it's just the
generally.
thing where like you need
fresh eyes. Yeah, absolutely. So. And it's not a dig at your editing skills. Like you had to get it to a point. But you can only get your own work so far. That's why directors and studios and production companies have editors, other people that are not so attached to the film.
Right.
So
there's the new trailer. I was hoping for an October 25th and show it at the same place, but that guy fucking wants to charge more again, and it kind of pissed me off. So I was like, fuck that.
What does he want?
Well, look, God's Salt, when we screened it there, was $150 he charged.
Okay.
Street Toughs, he charged $200. And this time he's charging $250.
Maybe he doesn't like you.
So at the rate of him fucking charging another $50, yeah, no, it's pretty much the same. He fixed the sound, because there was a lot of sound issues that I had when we watched it.
Sure.
And once again, the version...
It's cleanup.
The version that we screened in Vegas was also the previous version than the most recent one that I had done myself.
Gotcha.
So, like, even then, it was still slightly less...
It's just refining.
It is.
You're not changing the story. You're just refining
but
the
it's
visual aspect.
better. It's better.
Yeah, there you
go. So I'm going to try and look around and find a better place to screen. Or even if it's more money...
Right.
But better than what it was.
Because that's kind of just... It's okay.
It's
for $100, yeah, go for it. $100 all day long. $150, okay. We can bring beer in there and get shit-faced and watch the movie.
Right.
But keep going.
It keeps going and adding another 50 to top another 50. And it's like, I might as well
find something else.
Because the place isn't changing. It's still going to be folding chairs. It's still going to be a screen behind, like, a stage.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to find, like, another place to go and screen it. And I need to start looking, so I don't know if I'll make that deadline of October 25th.
We considered looking at, like, Park Lane. I know that they
do it, sure.
rentals for the screens.
That might be
like,
a couple
things.
$1,000, though.
I'm just curious. Like, nobody's ever asked. Nobody's ever asked. We don't know how much it is.
Right.
If somebody can show those off-the-wall funky Filipino movies.
Do you walk in and be like, hey, how do I rent a screen?
There's a number on the
Is
thing.
there?
Yeah. Okay. Usually it's like, hey, rent out our thing for your thing.
Right.
For your
I could only
meeting.
imagine they're going to at least charge what every seat in that thing would cost.
You never know.
I never know.
If it's worth asking,
But on like a Friday night?
Exactly, right? Like on a high-flow night, like a high-profile night, and towards the end of the year when you start having like a lot of premiere movies coming out for the season,
right?
You might have a hard time swinging that at a decent price.
So we'll figure it out.
But if you got like a real legit theater at $500, we could probably round that money up.
Sure.
And get people in there.
Oh, and charge tickets?
No, I mean, or whatever. Whatever we do. That's not like detailing the plan, but like get more people in there to see it other than like the 30 family and friends that you could fit in the other place.
Well, let's figure it out. Let's look around. It just sucks because
or...
I'm working like every day and I don't really have time to figure it out.
It.
So we'll figure it out.
We'll think about it.
Well, if you want to send out some emails, Cory, by all means.
I'll be front man.
If you're sitting at like work waiting, looking for things to do.
I never don't have anything to do at work anymore.
Well, if you're sending out emails at work,
I'll find some time to hit them up.
Send a few to the local theaters here in Reno.
Sounds like a plan.
So that's that. Cause we haven't talked since the movie premiere, right? In Vegas?
No, we have not talked since you've been to Vegas. I think. Did we talk about Vegas at all?
I think we talked about Vegas upcoming, and now it's past.
It's long gone.
Long gone. It's almost 2 full months gone now.
Yeah. Well, we were busy, and then.
Well, and then I'm burnt out. Like before the movie, I was working overtime, working almost every day.
You're going down the road.
After the movie, it's okay.
You're gonna burn yourself up. So let's talk about fun stuff.
All right, you went to Disneyland.
I did go to Disneyland.
How was it compared to last time you went?
So, obviously last time I went, Galaxy's Edge wasn't open yet.
Right.
They were talking about it, and they had closed off the section of the park that they were converting.
I don't think they closed it off. It just was never open to begin with.
Maybe that's what it was. But, like, there was a big wall there.
Yeah.
And, like, a big barn door type thing. And you couldn't go back there. And you had to go around to get to where you wanted to go. Actually, there was a path. It might not have been much back there, but there was a path between Adventureland and Fantasyland. And the last time I was there, that path was closed.
Mm-hmm.
And that path now leads through Galaxy's Edge and up back into Fantasyland.
Okay.
The park density was relatively low for the time of year. I think they had just redecorated for Halloween, which is always fun.
You got all the Halloween
I like
decorations.
the Halloween stuff. It's fun. They did a way better job with California Adventure this year.
Really?
They went further.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we went like 3 years ago, and we got the special.
For those of you who want to listen in on that, we talked about that in one of the previous episodes of Sequel Podcast.
We did. We had the special trick or treat tickets.
You did the
after hours
Oogie Boogies.
Yeah, at Disneyland. Like 3 years ago, we took Callan, and it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do it this time, obviously, because we didn't go late enough.
Did he dress up?
Yeah,
anything?
he dressed up as Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, he was digging it. It was fun. It's kind of like less trick or treat, more, special park access with.
Are they giving away candy? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the cast members all over the place giving candy out, and there's like a thing, and you can stop at different places, and there's characters that are dressed up in their Halloween costumes and stuff like that. So, but yeah, California Adventure was better decorated, I think, this year. I just want to tirade about Galaxy's Edge because it was so fun.
So you loved it.
I thought it was cool, super cool.
Greg says the train ride goes all the way around Galaxy's Edge.
See, we got fucked because we were gonna do that, and then we got.
Is it a ride or is it just
the train?
It's just like you get on and it'll take you.
The train is literally just a train,
right?
And it stops at 4 stations. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can pick it up at the front of the park. You can ride it around to Adventureland.
I remember being on that at the end of the night, and it was dark out, and it broke down and stopped where there was nothing.
Just on the tracks?
On the track where there was nothing.
Because out behind the park,
there's just
where
trees.
it goes back around Galaxy's Edge now, it was just forest and
I remember it breaking down fucking pitch black, and it's this is creepy.
That's funny. This is how slasher movies start. The train at the amusement park breaks down, and then everybody dies.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So
you loved Galaxy's Edge.
I loved it,
and they didn't have your space helmets.
They didn't have my space helmet. So,
you want 3 of those?
Well, they have 3 different ones, I think. So.
Who am I to say what's what about collecting
to buy things? So, I want 1 for Junior, and I want the other 2 for me. So,
you've got 2 juniors.
I know, but the other junior doesn't care right now. He's too
little.
I don't get it. I'll be a paid man, Daddy. But just the detail.
Well, I hope they have them there.
I hope so too. I really want a white one.
But if they only
have whatever, then I'll take that.
And you can only get them at the Galaxy's Edge.
At Galaxy's Edge, at the Resistance Supply stand depot, right? It's right off of Adventureland. You walk up, there's the X-Wing, and where a ride isn't yet. I don't know what's going to be there. I don't know what it's called. Maybe some of you
did you have
more savvy folks.
Green milk, the blue milk?
I did. I had the blue milk.
Did you get any pictures with Star Wars characters?
I did not. We got a solid picture of Callan with Chewie, though.
Is the Chewie legit?
Legit Chewbacca, dude.
Big guy.
Yeah, huge.
It's a dude on stilts. He fucking falls over and dies.
I don't think he's on stilts. I think they hired a really tall motherfucker like they did initially
for the movie.
Yeah.
So Cory's got a picture of Callan with the Chewie. Do they have do they have a Kylo Ren that goes up in there and is a dick to everybody?
So the setup is kind of funny. He's bending down to put his arms around Callan right now.
Is it nighttime?
Outside. Yeah, it's nighttime. So we went during the day 3 times, and then I wanted to go back at night to see how it was lit, to see how it changed and see if there was anything different. And it was cool because there was some stuff that was a little bit more active and a little bit more lit up at night. That was more fun. We got one with Chewie. You can't see that for shit.
No, it ain't.
Terrible picture. But so the characters in Galaxy's Edge were roaming. Mm-hmm. There were no static photo ops except like one time. I think there were some stormtroopers posted up at a door or something, and they were pretending to guard it, and people were waiting in line to get pictures with them. But other than that, the stormtroopers just kind of like cruised around, and
they stay in the Galaxy's Edge.
They stay in Galaxy's Edge, and they roam around, and they have like pre-recorded dialogue, and they hassle people.
Oh, so like they don't talk.
They do. It sounds like a stormtrooper,
but it's a sound bite.
But you can tell, like, you spend enough time there and you listen to them, like, it's recorded.
It's the same dialogue over and over.
But they can, I think they can choose what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I may be wrong.
Do they have blasters?
They have blasters.
So maybe they're holding a blaster and they press a button on the blaster.
Maybe that's what it is. It's hard to say because I didn't investigate the costuming that close. So there's, at minimum, a pair of stormtroopers wandering around hassling people, and we're looking for resistance. Blah blah blah. Let me see your identification.
Move along.
So, that was kind of fun. Kylo Ren came out and acted like a dick, and did shouting and talking about resistance and stuff.
You. They chase resistance characters too, which you can help hide.
Yeah, so I did like some.
When people come running up and are like, hide me, or
I did some background reading, and there's some characters that they're dressed like resistance characters, so they're wearing like an orange jumpsuit or whatever,
right?
Dressed in a more characterized,
like a pilot,
or whatever. There's some pictures online, but we didn't see any of those.
No one came running up to you.
Yeah, we didn't. And we were there quite a bit, and I didn't see any of that kind of activity. So I don't know if it was just an off day or what have you. But at night is when we saw Chewie. Chewie's not there during the day.
Oh, he shows up at night. Because the costume is too hot. Or
I would
all
guess.
Those costumes
I would
are
guess.
Probably
yeah.
Hot as fuck, anyways.
But we didn't see Chewie during the day. We did see him at night. But he was like walking around, and the gal, like the cast member that's walking with him, is like, we're in, First Order territory, and Chewie has to keep moving, and so like they were trying to walk him around and show people and talk to people and stuff like that. Whatever. It's like, yeah, this is my 7.5-foot Wookiee. But all the kids are like going up to him trying to get pictures. So he's like,
fucking knock his ass down and start beating him.
Right? Fucking rob the hood. Jet with it.
Steal his head.
Right? So.
Like an Ewok. Like they're like little Ewoks. Cannibal Ewoks trying to eat Chewie. Ewoks are cannibals. Ewoks are cannibals.
Are they?
They're like this vicious. Like, because they're going to eat. Don't they eat somebody?
They were going to eat.
Don't they kill and eat like one of the stormtroopers?
I don't know.
No, I think they kill and eat one of the stormtroopers.
Yeah, but they don't like outright say it.
No, you have to read between the lines.
You
but
do.
like that they got his helmet and his costume and shit, and he ain't nowhere to be seen. And they were gonna eat what, Han Solo?
Yeah, they had him.
They had him on the spit, man.
Spits, yeah.
So like,
was it just Han?
I think it was just Han. Because no one else was with him.
Or was it Luke?
No, because
Luke is on.
Luke was tied up. I think a couple of them were tied up. They had Han.
Right, Han was on the spit. That's right.
Because Luke was like took C-3PO and moved him from one place to the next.
Right, picked him up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were gonna eat Han Solo, so they eat human flesh.
These cannibal. It just means that they're animals.
Well, I mean, it's the cannibalistic mentality that we like, because you go to those cannibal tribes and
sure,
they're not eating each other, but
right.
They're eating humans.
I know, but they're not humans.
They're not like, oh, we're running out of people in this tribe. So they definitely, everyone whose helmets they're drumming on.
They definitely ate everyone whose helmets they're drumming on? Probably.
Oh, so he missed the A. You forgot a word, Greg, you dick.
He didn't want to say it outright. He wanted you to read between the lines.
Yeah, because they're like...
Yeah. Is that exactly how the beat goes?
They got the Wub Wub or Nub Nub song or whatever.
Yeah, Yub Nub songs.
Yub Nub, that's it, Yub Nub song. They're drumming on helmets. Like, where did they get those helmets? Like, we're one step away from those being
Eat
skulls.
No, like, for sure, I would not at all doubt that, because they alluded to that, like, that they were going to eat.
Yeah, they're like, oh, man, what does this one taste like? We've been eating fucking worms and lizards and shit.
Right?
We've been eating banthas. This one smells like a bantha. He's been inside a bantha. That's what it is, right?
Tauntaun.
Oh, it's a tauntaun.
Yeah.
What's the bantha?
The banthas are the big woolly...
on Tatooine.
On Tatooine, yeah.
The Tusken Raiders are...
Yeah, those are the Tusken
Those are the
Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the tauntaun.
These are bantha tracks.
This guy smells like a tauntaun. Then he's been in a tauntaun. He's pre-marinated.
He's premeditated inside of
the
a stinky
tauntaun.
other creature.
It's like it's like a turducken.
Right. Yeah,
Han Solo's a turducken.
Han Solo inside of a tauntaun.
Inside of a bantha. They love that shit.
That's disgusting. So
that's why people come to listen, Cory.
it's true, because
we're
not afraid for the lulls. That's why they come here. But the detail inside the park was just like it was great.
So okay, so like great, because we talked a little bit yesterday. So the Millennium Falcon ride, it's got 4 different settings.
Six seats. There's
But
six passengers.
But it's like 4 different rides or 4 different scenarios or something.
So the scenario's the same. I only ever saw one scenario.
Okay.
The difference is there are...
You control the Millennium Falcon?
Yes.
And you're yelling at people like, hey, fucking, let's go faster, dude.
I mean,
it's a simulated running the ship, or...
Yeah. It's like it's a motion theater ride where you're semi in control. And so there's 6 positions in the ship. There's 2 pilots, left, right, up, down. There's 2 gunners, which apparently have an option for auto targeting or manual targeting.
Pilot, co-pilot, 2 gunners, 2 engineers.
And 2 engineers. And the engineers, I think that's a fun job that doesn't require a whole lot. Like, the skill level is relatively low. Like, if you pay attention to your panel, they want you to flip the button, or flip the switches and press the buttons that are lit up. So
when they light up, you hit the button.
Yeah, when you light up, there's like rockers and stuff, and you like hit these rockers and this button, and then there's like these 3 buttons and these 2 rockers. And so it's kind of fun because you're like playing spaceship.
Right, you're active in it.
You're actively playing spaceship, and it's fun. Like, my kid fucking loved it. We rode it on loop like 5 times. He had a great time.
I'm assuming you had the baby with you too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did rider switch. The wife.
So you did a bunch of solo rides between.
Yeah, like I would like the stuff that I wanted to ride that nobody else wanted to ride. I just go ride it by myself, and then if Callan wanted to ride,
what exactly did no one else want to ride that you wanted to ride?
Tower of Terror.
What kind of communist bullshit is this?
I know.
But that's
the wife won't get on it unless
did someone just knock?
No, I don't think so. Unless Dakota's waiting outside.
Let's keep going.
So I'm sorry, it was not Tower of Terror anymore. It's
Breakaway, Breakout.
Breakout, Guardians of the Galaxy. What used to be California Screamin', the Incredicoaster.
Oh yeah, they changed California Screamin' to something else, didn't they?
It's labeled as the Incredicoaster now, so it's themed after the Incredibles.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The second one.
A bunch of bullshit.
Oh, now it's ruined. All the fuzz. So, anyway. So there's a handful of things that the wife and I would both ride it with Callan one at a time.
He got to go twice.
So he'd go twice, so each of us could ride it with him.
He says he has a hard time with Guardians Tower, but then again, I remember Greg when we went to film, fucking throwing up, going up to Tahoe.
Oh yeah,
Cause we were in the car for 1 second, barely left the house, and he was like reading something. 1 second, and fucking he was
like,
done.
What?
He was done for the day. Done for the day.
A lot of people cannot read while driving.
Like, I understand that's the thing.
Motion sickness sensitivity.
But he did not get over it.
He didn't recover. I think he's trying to say something about your integrity there, Gregory. So
I mean, is that what it is, Greg? Is like a motion sickness thing? Because I remember,
it's exactly
like I liked the ride, right? And there was a point where there was no line, and you were able to, boom, and I did it 3 times. By that 3rd time, you do start to kind of feel it.
Yeah, I wrote. So the second day, we were at the parks.
It's the same ride. Is it the same ride?
What's that?
The Guardians.
So very similar to Tower of Terror, but the story's different.
But otherwise, like,
but
if
the
you had your
ride
eyes
itself-
closed and your ears were plugged.
I mean, there's audio input. There's more visual input, so they open
Well,
up on
if
different...
you had your eyes closed and your ears plugged, it's just
you wouldn't know the difference.
Okay.
They take you up to the top, and you wait. But I feel like it's more violent.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more exciting.
Well, Greg says, yeah, the car's reading thing. Right, I know, we got you. But the tower just makes me feel weird in the chest.
Well, yeah,
I think it's still part of that kind of jarring
it's
sensation.
real similar. And I mean, what you think about what you're doing, like when you're going up and then down and up
Well,
and down.
When I get on there and it
Sloshes
pushes
your
down,
fucking nuts around.
I start laughing. It makes me feel like really funny and like good.
Well, yeah. Well, it's you're getting a forced blast of adrenaline.
It's
That's
like
why we do shit like that. Because
Beyond
it's
zero
fun.
G, right?
I mean, I guess
Because they're pushing
you're
you,
accelerating down,
and therefore you're
but
coming
the
up.
speed, I don't know. You would have to look at the.
I think
math
it
and the
is. I think
speeds.
it is beyond zero G.
But you would have to look at the maths and the speeds and see you probably don't exceed
Zero.
terminal velocity
Mm-hmm.
in that ride,
Mm-hmm.
which, if I'm wrong,
Tower has seven different drop patterns and four different stories. See, that's the thing is, so like when it was the Tower of Terror, it was the
drop
same
patterns were
ride.
random.
It was the same ride.
Right.
But what they said was the version in Disney World was random.
Okay.
So you would get a different experience every time, whereas if you were in Disneyland or California Adventure, it was always the same one over and over again.
So
they probably just cropped that over with the new redesign.
Right. So I feel like the drop pattern was...
Now, do they do shit where, like, they catch you and maybe you kind of...
Yeah, like, so you'll go up and then it'll get all the way to the top. So I think I got one story, right?
You only go the one
There's
time?
4 different stories. So I went like 3 or 4 times in one day because I could ride it like on loop. But I think that the stories are based on which car you get in. You know what I mean? Because
There's 3 cars, right? If I remember
there's 3
correctly.
or 4 different bays that you can get on.
I remember 3.
Might be 3, maybe 4. I'm not positive.
Oh, but then they might have... But then you're probably still getting on the same car, upper or lower. Like, don't they have an upstairs waiting line and a downstairs waiting line?
There's an upstairs and a downstairs waiting line because you can get off. They usually let you off on
The
a
gifts.
different floor.
They let you off at the
I'm
very
not
bottom.
sure. There's 4 cars.
4 cars. Fuck you, Greg.
So they don't let you out at the same floor you get on, but it looks like they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know.
It's
Maybe
a thing.
maybe they let you off the same floor.
This is the first time you've been on it. Where did they have
As
it
Guardians,
last time?
as Guardians, they didn't
you
have
went.
it
They didn't.
last
Have, it
time.
was still.
It was still Tower of Terror.
And I know last time I went, we went the same time. We go the same fucking year, dude. When
I know,
we went,
it's super weird.
It was like, oh, final checkout for Tower of Terror.
Yeah. Late. It was a late checkout or whatever. I'm serious. That's what it was called.
No, it was final checkout.
Was
final
it?
checkout. Yeah.
Okay.
I hate you so much.
I hate your face. So, Guardians of
Late
the Galaxy.
checkout, noon, no extra charge.
Always get the late checkout.
Fucking son of a-
So, Guardians of the Galaxy had an After Dark ride.
Oh, they had 2 different rides.
So there was the daytime.
I don't think I ever got to ride the Tower of Terror at
After
night.
Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went on the After Dark Tower of Terror, and it was like the exact same ride,
They give you
except
ecstasy.
all the lights were out, and they didn't play the little story thing.
Okay.
They just, you go up, and it's like...
Do they have like the same dialogue or no dialogue?
No, there's no dialogue. It's
So it's
silent.
like a dark ride.
It's like dark. It's creepy.
Okay.
It's just different out of the Tower of Terror. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, they changed the story entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't ruin it for you.
Okay.
You should totally write it.
Well, and it's
But it's
called
different.
Prison Breakout, so I think I've got
Yeah.
the
Prison
the
Breakout,
gist.
the daytime story is Prison Breakout. The nighttime story is an offshoot of that. Very similar.
Oh, so it's a different story
But it is
completely.
a different story.
Is
Basically, it takes place after
So as
the
soon
story
as the
of the
sun,
daytime.
as soon as the sun goes down, it
I
switches.
think so, yeah.
Okay.
They tell you, they have a little sign, they put it out. And they tell you what time it starts, and it was like 7 o'clock.
Okay,
Or
so
6:30 or 7 o'clock.
we got to make sure that we go.
But definitely get California Adventure.
Because that was always my
Yeah.
favorite ride.
Yeah, it's a fun ride. I like it. Same as you. I can ride it like twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That third time, it's just like barely too
Suddenly
much, and
you
I start getting
feeling
a little in the head, and so. Same thing with the Smuggler's Run though, like or Star Tours.
It's a motion sensor
It's
ride,
a motion
right?
theater ride. Yeah. It's not 3D.
Which is what Universal, all the rides at Universal.
Pretty much
are
all
motion.
the rides at Universal. Yeah.
Did you go there?
Yeah, we went last time.
Oh, but
We
not
went
this
to
time.
Universal. Or no, last time we took my. No, it wasn't last time we went.
Times before.
No, we went last time to Universal.
Because we're doing
And
the
Disney.
same thing this year.
Right.
2 days, so 1 Disney, 1 California Adventure, and 1 Universal.
Okay.
And everyone's gone. We got 12 of us. 3 kids, 2 babies, and a 6-year-old.
But there's enough adults to go around
Right.
to watch the
right.
babies, and
Do the
everybody can
swap.
kind of ride the different rides. Split up as much as you can.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
For why?
if I just same reason, dude. Riding one ride with 50 people is hard.
Well, I mean, because at best, a car is what? Like Splash Mountain's like 5, I think the most you can get on. 6 is the
I'm gonna
most
say
you can
like
get on there.
6. I think you can
Was
get in a
Splash
log.
Mountain working?
Yeah, Splash Mountain was up. I actually rode that one. I was in a log all by myself.
Where's everybody? Why?
Like I said, it was a
during
super.
the day.
It was no, actually, it was in the evening. But it was just a low density weekend.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the reasons why we picked that weekend or that week to go. So we got there on Saturday evening.
Oh, it's still September.
Yeah. So and then one of the cast members was telling us that the weekend before that, which was Labor Day,
Oh well, sure. Packed.
was super light.
So you went on a weekend. You went on a Saturday.
So we got there Saturday. We did Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in the park, and then we went to Great Wolf Lodge, which is an indoor water park, for 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
or not for 4 days, for 1 day, and then we drove home on Thursday.
Okay.
So it's kind of our way of
Was it
like
hot,
having
or-
a buffer on the end of our vacation. Like I like to have at least 1 day.
Well,
where
look,
we have
I'm
nothing
going
do.
to Aftershock on Friday. Me and
Okay.
Dakota covered this.
Right.
All right, and then we blow out of here to Vegas Saturday at like 4:30
P.
m.
Okay.
So won't get into Vegas until like 1 o'clock.
Right.
Next morning we go to L.A.
Which is another
5.
6,
I think it's 5.
So are you driving? So you guys picking up?
A 12 seater.
Yeah. In Vegas?
Yeah,
You're
in
picking it
Vegas.
up? Okay.
Yeah, and no, we're picking it up here,
Oh, you're gonna drive that down and pick up the rest of the crew, and then
and then
Go
go,
down to
there,
LA?
and then we'll come back. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Mhm.
and then we'll come back Thursday morning. She's got a concert Friday in Vegas, and then we come back Saturday morning to get the car back here by 4:30
and then what day do you start work? Monday,
Sunday.
Sunday. See, that sucks, dick. Like, no, thank you.
I mean, that's what I did when we
I
went to
know,
Vegas
I know.
for the movie.
I
and
know.
It's just
It's hard, but sometimes you don't have an option, you know.
so fucking.
But you'll have fun though. Like,
Well, this is broke the bank. This fucking trip.
oh,
I bought
ours-
everyone's ticket.
Fuck.
Well, it's like we want to go on this family vacation, but both my brother and sister.
Nobody can go
New kids.
if somebody else doesn't pay for it.
Yeah, they like essentially. My sister was like, "Hey, it's
not a
like we're
negative-
not going to be able to make
Not a
the money."
negative dig. It's just where they're at.
Yeah, it's just where they're at. They each
Yeah.
have new kids. Not
Lots of
necessarily
years.
financial.
Lots of years that we've been on. You
So
know,
like this nonstop overtime that I've had is kind of a good thing because I was able to buy everyone's ticket so that we
Nice.
can all go.
well, that's cool. So
I need to keep working the overtime.
now you got to catch back up.
I need to get out of the hole a little bit. So.
Yeah. Samesies.
I mean, basically, we're not going to talk about
Don't
work.
do it. Don't do it. You
We're
said
not talking
going
about
to
work. Yeah, we're not talking about work.
So, but you'll see when you get there, dude. Just the absolute. If you talk to Greg at all about it, like the absolute detail inside the park, inside Star Wars Land, was. I mean, it's just
You felt
fucking
like you were
super
there?
cool.
or-
Yeah, you feel like this is a real place.
Mm-hmm.
Like very little of it feels like cartoony. You know what I mean? Like it's all very metallic, and you know there's lights and buttons.
Did you say you drank the blue milk? Or
I
the
did
green
drink
milk?
the blue milk,
But not the green milk.
not the green milk.
I was told the green milk was the one to drink.
And after having drank the blue milk, I wish we had gotten a green milk also, so that I could compare the two.
What stopped you from getting it? Just is it a
I was just
line or
No, it's just like
$50.
No, I mean, it's fucking $6 for a little smoothie. You know, like, it was good.
What did it taste like?
So it tasted like I forget what the...
Like coconut milk with juice?
It's coconut milk and like some passion fruit, like bullshit. So it's like it's a real light, it's a dreamsicle-y. Like a creamsicle flavor.
I figured,
but like an icy, it's very much like that. The fizzy foam that made your mouth numb. No, we did not get that. We did go to the cantina. You have to get reservations. You have to make a reservation to get seated in there, and you have 45 minutes and a 2-drink maximum per adult.
2-drink maximum.
You're only allowed to have 2 alcoholic beverages.
Alcoholic
while
beverages.
You're there.
Okay.
Because they don't want people getting trashed. I heard about the fizzy foam drink that makes your mouth numb. To me, it looked like Fuzzy Navel. Maybe it had
alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, it's like a wine cooler with a little bit of extra liquor in it.
Right. It's peach.
And then it looked like it had what's this shit called? Dry ice in the bottom because it was bubbling and the foam and shit on it. Maybe it was nitrogen foam or something like that. I don't know why it would make your mouth numb, but I have heard that from people, and then people say like, don't inhale it, like don't drink it fast. Don't drink it. Like, don't take a drink and breathe the effervescence.
The foam was the best part. The drink was so-so.
So we ordered Jedi Mind Trick, which is kind of a vodka martini. So it was like vodka with blue curacao and maybe a little something else in there for different, so a little flavor.
Cocaine.
But it wasn't. I've had better drinks.
Right. It's
and for $15, it was like.
So skip that then.
What's that? The drinks or
the cantina?
The cantina.
Is that the only place to get the blue milk, or
no? The blue milk is not in the cantina. I think you can get something like that in there that's on the menu, but it's not the same. Like there's a little standout in the yard,
so it's
that you can go get the blue and the green milk.
Easy to get.
The milk is easy to get.
Okay.
If you want that, go get it. If you want to try the liquor and see the inside of the cantina, you have to make reservations.
So what was your reservation situation? You went in, you had to come back in 2 hours?
No, you go online and you make a reservation for a particular time, and then you show up at that time and you check in and you say, hey, it's like a club almost.
Okay.
And then you get seated as available.
Sorry about
during
the
that
mess.
time.
Can you fucking...
And it's like they have some seats.
Do they have a band in there?
They have the DJ droid. It's like DJ Rex, that's what it is. It's R3X.
Cantina is alright, but it's not the cantina.
It's not the cantina.
Okay, it's not.
It's not that one.
Well,
see, everybody wanted it to be the cantina from Tatooine. Like, that's all anybody wanted.
I heard that what
Disneyland
they did...
missed the fucking boat on that.
I don't think it's that they missed the boat. What I heard was that they went with the newer characters because they were created under the Disney banner, opposed to the Lucas banner, which might still be getting some kind of
royalty from that.
Sure.
And also a lot of what they're doing, I think, and this is my own guesstimation, somebody who knows more about movies than I do could probably tell you, but it looks to me like, you know, they're putting the old team to bed. You know, they're getting rid of the old team. And for good, enough reason. They're moving into a next generation.
Because
it's fine.
Then they don't have to pay royalties.
Even if it's not about royalties to Lucas or whatever, like, it's still Star Wars. They're still going to call it Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. So, you know what I mean? Like, however you phrase the name, they're still going to use Star Wars. And I'm sure Lucas still gets paid for that.
Right. In fact, us just saying Star Wars the million times we have.
In fact, we're probably going to get shut down for saying that too many times in a row.
Like, Trump ain't got nothing on George Lucas and his Star Wars money, so...
Right.
Or Disney and their money.
So...
A cease and desist is already on its way. It's in the mail.
Knock, knock. So... yeah, so I get it. Like, the planet that it's based on is supposed to be Batu, I think.
Okay, that's like, welcome to Batu.
And it's not a planet that's in any of the movies.
In any of the mythology that you are aware of.
Not like the outward casual viewer mythologies.
At what point does the Enterprise show up?
I don't think it's in that movie.
Oh, my bad.
So, but the Millennium Falcon was sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of the
Millennium
the
Falcon
scale correctness.
Right.
I did research after the fact.
So is there a Millennium Falcon and then a ride separate from the Falcon?
There's a Millennium Falcon that's parked out in the yard.
And you can go in and walk around in it as if it's a real ship? No. Okay.
You can walk around it and look at it. Ooh. You can't go in it.
Okay.
There's like a transport.
I thought Batu was where Rey finds the lightsaber.
Oh, maybe where Maz. Is it Maz?
No. The little weird
alien with the eyeball things.
Yeah.
Didn't they blow that planet up?
I don't know. I didn't like those movies.
I know you didn't.
There was no Enterprise to be seen in those movies.
And Captain Picard was AWOL.
So I didn't. As I watched it so that I was part of the zeitgeist at the moment.
Right.
Just like I'll watch this next one to be part of the zeitgeist.
So you can see it.
I mean, I've watched the movies all my life, but like I liked them as a kid, but as an adult, they didn't do anything for me.
Sure. And I don't know. I think it's like that. I think the ideology and like the mythology of the universe is more fun than most of the movie stuff.
Well, I feel like the original Star Wars came from a filmmaker who was trying to do something, and he did it.
Right.
And those first 3 movies are a reflection of that, and him building upon a cool world and doing a thing like this is mine. And then he tried to do it again, and those people who liked the first 3...
Episode 8 is the worst Star Wars ever made.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's not great.
And like no one liked his vision. Like the Phantom Menace and so on are his movies and his vision, and
made by somebody else.
They're original, whereas 7 is a remake of like the first 2 or whatever.
It was a rehash of
like let's put
4 and 5.
Let's put the first 3 movies, take the best parts of those, put them in the new one, and kind of start over, I guess.
And I didn't care for that.
And when Disney bought it, it just became like...
It's a money machine.
Like a cash cow.
Absolutely.
So like, whereas, like, I'm deeply seated in Star Trek right now. I've been binging, like, every day.
What are you watching?
The original series. Because I was turned on to a podcast.
Kirk series?
Kirk. And I grew up with that. Okay. I've watched it a million times. But there's a podcast where these 2 guys watch an episode... and they do a deep dive into the episode and the deep themes and talk about it and does it still hold up? And they started this podcast like 7 years ago. So right now they're about somewhere in the middle of Deep Space Nine. So they've gone from the original series, animated series, original series movies, all the way through Next Generation, Voyager. Voyager will be after Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Through the Next Generation movies, and they're working through Deep Space Nine. So they've kept up with it all these years.
Wow.
So I'm still stuck in like 2013 episodes, but I'm in a very deep dive with Star Trek, and they're great. Like, I almost want to do the same thing because I like the deep themes.
To explore
they're good conversation pieces.
To explore the writing and the
like, I wish I was there to be like put in my 2 cents.
Right.
So, like, and I don't feel Star Trek ever got that cash cow.
It didn't
situation.
It didn't get that like a cult following that Star Wars still has.
Oh, well, I mean, it's like, I don't want to shit on anything.
No, and you don't have to. It's
about to shit on the Marvel movies.
Didn't you guys just talk about?
Did you listen
Marvel
to that?
ripping off DC?
Did you listen to that?
I was going to. I haven't had time.
Well, because Dakota was like, what Marvel did with Iron Man was they saw that they liked what Nolan did with Batman Begins, and they made Iron Man, and from there it became what it is. And like, it's original series, 30 minutes or hour episodes. So like, Dakota would not get off of that horse or that soapbox of his
like the whole time.
And I was like, well, for me it was just like, well, like they had a good team making Iron Man. Good actors, good writers, good producers, good director, and like they made a good movie. And I don't think they aped what Batman Begins was, because I don't feel that Iron Man was in any way, shape, or form what Batman Begins was. I almost can't even watch Batman Begins. Because until he comes Batman, like, I don't give a fuck.
It's hard to watch. It's just this whiny little bitch.
I mean, they're well-made movies. And you know what? All of Christopher Nolan's movies are like that.
Sure.
Like Dunkirk, I thought was a well-made movie. It looked good, but it was boring and almost unwatchable. Interstellar, too. Did you like Interstellar?
Don't start on my movie. I loved Interstellar, but I'm one of those, like... I love it when sci-fi movies do the best they can with real science.
Right.
Or as best as they can with known real science.
And what's great about that original series of Star Trek
science.
is they've come up with concepts in like the late 60s
Sure.
that eventually became real.
Sure.
And not just technology, but like the way we live in society. The way societal norms became that they weren't back in the 60s.
Greg loves
Interstellar. And Ad Astra comes out on Friday. Another Interstellar type looking movie.
Right, and I saw the trailer for that. We're just going to jump all over the place, which is fine, I guess.
Well, until you're ready to be done.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for Ad Astra, and I don't know what it's about.
It's about...
I don't get it.
It's about a guy that's ready to... he's looking for his dad or something. So, for me, Rambo is the movie. That's what I wanted to talk about. I did a deep dive last weekend.
The new Rambo?
We marathoned the 4 Rambo movies.
Okay.
And I love First Blood, the first Rambo movie.
Okay.
That's one of my top 5, top 10, movies. I love it. And I never really liked 2 or 3. And then when 4 came out, I thought it was awesome.
Is 4 the most recent one when he goes to
Burma?
Well, he's living there.
He's living in Thailand,
and they're like,
the church group wants to go.
We want you to take us to Burma,
right?
And it's like, are you taking
any guns? You ain't changing anything.
You're not changing anything.
That's the one.
Yeah, I loved that one. That was fucking great because it popped that dude's head like a grape with that 50 cal.
Oh, dude,
it was some really
people
blurry,
are
shit.
They're liquefying in that.
That
movie.
was awesome.
Greg says if it's in space, it gets his money. So, like for me, it was Rambo 1 and then Rambo 4. Because 2 and 3 were always forgettable for me. But when we watched 1, 2, 3, and 4 back to back this last weekend,
it makes more sense.
It makes so much more sense. They're good.
Like there's some linkage between them.
Like the music links movie to movie, and the themes of who Rambo is and what he does links movie to movie. Like he's rocking that bow and arrow, and he's rocking a rocket launcher, and like he's doing his like I'm a pacifist, but I'm not afraid to fucking. Like, I know I have this muscle and this skill.
Right.
I can kill these people for you if that's what you need me to do. But I really don't want to. And then he's, out for revenge, kind of 2 and 3,
right.
4. Like, and it's just, like, 4 ends with him like, oh, I'm home now. And so after watching those 4 and then watching the trailer again the new one.
You arrived there.
It's like, oh, I'm so ready for this. Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
I have seen the trailer for the new one.
And they do the cuts of him in this movie and the cuts of him from the other ones, and they match up perfectly. What
is it with the new trailers for movies? I think it was what's the newest Star Wars Episode 9?
Mm-hmm.
Of the directors putting out these trailers with a bunch of supercuts from previous films. Is it just like a saga linkage kind of thing
maybe,
that they're trying to do?
Maybe. Well, Rambo...
I guess...
Rambo 3 came out in, 87.
That's true.
Okay.
So maybe people have never
even
heard of that.
And then 4 came out 10 years ago.
Right.
So it's like, it's... And, he did something weird in Rambo 4, where he's doing, this memory thing, and they're doing, a kind of a supercut.
Like a flashback memory
I was
thing.
black and white flashback of the
but
footage.
But that's in the movie.
But what he did was... He put the alternate ending of the first movie where Rambo kills himself, and he puts that in the flashback.
His memories,
yeah, it's so weird.
I mean, that would have been an accurate flashback, like a nightmare for him to have, though. And how else do you?
Right, I can
how else do you
justify it. I can
portray
justify
Kratos?
it, but I just
But
it
it is
thought it was
a
weird.
strange choice.
Because in the first Rambo, they walk him out and take him to military prison or whatever. But in the alternate ending, his superior officer has a gun and he grabs it and shoots himself.
Right.
Like he's holding it and he just kind of pulls his arm towards him and shoots himself here and he dies. So we're gonna next time we do this, it's not gonna be with these. So I just thought that was a weird thing that they put that like Rambo suicide quick clip in the flashback for number 4.
Yeah.
Those are fucking good movies though, dude. Like I said, I remember like, oh, you can skip 2 and 3 and just do 1 and 4, but you really need to do them back to back. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to him killing a bunch of fucking cartel guys on his farm and shit.
Right.
I need that after all this work. I need something to fucking.
You need to escape from.
I need to escape, and this is right where I want to escape.
And when is this? When is this coming out? It's this Friday.
Yeah.
Are you going Friday night?
Friday night.
Nice. And then what else are we expecting in the near future? Joker.
And me and
the
Dakota,
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, we talked about Joker a little bit, but that's the one. I think that's about it this year. Star Wars at the end.
Star Wars is December.
Probably Christmas. Maybe even the week
heard,
before.
I don't know.
Or maybe they'll do all
trailer,
month long.
I thought it was October, but I could be wrong about
That's
that.
it's got to be every Christmas.
Probably.
Though
they did some stuff early. So Disney has its own schedule, and they don't compete with themselves.
I remember they fucked the theaters with the last Star Wars movie.
Didn't they drop it early? They dropped it in November?
No, I think what they did was they held the movie theaters hostage. Like
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think they were like, "Hey, look, if you want Star Wars in your movie theater, we know it's going to have sales.
Right.
Then you have to do." I forget what it was, but I remember them holding the movie theaters hostage. Like,
you're going to do it like this.
You're going to do it like this, or you're going to give us so much money for it. I mean, because like we don't need to give it to you. We know this movie's making money.
We can sell it without showing it in the theater.
We're printing money with Star Wars right now.
It's a giant ATM machine.
Yeah, so who knows what's going on with Star Wars?
Yeah, I don't remember what the release is.
They should just let it go for free.
Wouldn't that be something?
It's just like, check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, we don't need all this extra money.
Like literally,
that's more of a Sony Pictures move. Didn't they? What was that movie?
The Interview.
The Interview.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to go over before we got? It sucks because I wanted to cover with you and Dakota. Like I got deep into this AI theory.
Oh boy.
This artificial intelligence and how scary it is.
Let's save it.
We'll save it.
Let's save it, and let's actually get Dakota on the
next
show.
I wanted to do some deep concepts, not just these yuck episodes.
If we can't get Dakota, let's shoot for next week. Maybe we shoot for a different day and we get my dad.
Oh, you know what?
Or
Paul,
whatever you want.
Paul, my cop friend who's in the movie, he's ready to go.
He's ready to rock?
He's ready to rock.
Okay.
So we got some stuff. Because remember, what is it that we wanted to ask him? Why did we want to get him on? Did it have something to do with, like...
I think we wanted to ask him about cop stuff.
Yeah, cop stuff, but there was something specifically that
I don't remember.
I'd have to go back and re-listen to that episode.
You have to listen to that episode.
I hope that we talked about it on the episode, not after the episode. Yeah, no, because I was watching, top 10 creepy things artificial intelligent robots have said, and, like how real the concept of Skynet and,
that shit's... It's all standing right there.
Like, we're in a cage. We're in a cage with the government, and we're in a cage with technology. And it's only a matter of time before technology does take over. So...
Yes. As
it's there.
And what's amazing about it is that I think
and we're allowing
technology
it.
is more...
We're allowing it.
And Siri too.
I don't. I do not have an Echo. You know, fucking Dakota was one of those guys. Like years ago, I'm like, Dakota, are you gonna get an Echo? And he's like, no, that's Big Brother in a box or whatever.
It is.
They have one.
I have one. You know where it is?
The garbage.
Anybody? It's in a fucking cardboard box in the closet, and it's never been turned on.
It's gonna turn.
We got it
on one of these
from
days,
somebody
dude.
for Christmas or something, right? It's gonna fucking. Why do you carry a gun in the house? Said Decepticons.
What?
She laughed, and I laughed, and the toaster laughed. I shot the toaster.
What is that?
It's
from?
a joke.
No, I get. What's that from? I thought I've seen
It's a joke that I've seen on Facebook or something.
Okay, some meme. That's what you think.
That's what I think. Yeah.
That I don't have an Echo.
No. Well, okay. So if anybody has one of these in their house,
The cell phone.
the government is watching you.
Did you watch that movie Snowden?
No, it's on my list.
Where
so if
where
you
the
wanna,
dude's like, oh hey, check this out, and he shows them any camera without the light coming on.
Yep. If you want to briefly talk about how creepy, like, your phone is, just open it up and type in one letter, and shit that you were just talking about comes up.
Oh yeah, like, oh, you want to buy this? Yeah,
like,
it's
shit
very creepy.
Not just shit that you've searched previously. I can expect that. If I looked up Star Wars shit, I'm gonna get Star Wars recommendations.
Right, you're not super surprised.
But obscure things,
Facebook ads
that I've talked to people about that the Echo isn't on. Yeah, I know, right? I should fucking get rid of it before I start making my plans.
Cold Spring residence fire in house.
Right?
Burns down.
We were talking about SD cards.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't bought an SD card online ever, but we were talking about it, and from my recollection, there was no. Like,
who's we?
My coworker and
Okay.
We were going to coffee. We were talking about SD cards because we needed to order one for work, and I never looked it up on my phone. I never looked it up on my work computer. We were just talking about it.
Pops up on your Facebook
The next day,
feed.
it pops up as a recommendation in my Facebook and my Amazon suggestions.
It's
so.
I mean, what am I supposed to do about it? I have to look at it and move on.
Yeah, here's the question: What difference does it make?
Right.
At this point, what difference does it make?
Because we're all in the same group.
We're in the system. If you want to disappear yourself and not participate and exist outside of society, that's an option. It's very difficult, nigh impossible for most people who are accustomed to a certain way of living. Most of us are not going to do that.
Right.
We can talk about wanting to do it and how maybe or maybe not you're comfortable with doing it. Like, I would not mind living 100% off the grid in a cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere, because that sounds like the life. Like, to me, you know.
That was your theory.
Good old weed.
Yeah.
Good old weed.
It's coming, dude. It's coming. That story's coming.
Dude, I want it.
That story's coming.
So, there's one option. Option number 2 is you fucking ride the wave and see what happens. You're not going to get away from it. If you have a cell phone in your pocket, the government's listening to you now.
They got you, yeah.
And I mean, Greg's right, but...
Like, wasn't the joke, like, if we start talking about Donald Trump, then at least we got people listening to the podcast. So.
That was an initial joke early on.
We were going to start, like, every podcast saying, like, oh, we're going to talk about Donald Trump, and suddenly we got click users listening.
So, we garner some actual viewers. That's the word I was looking for. But, you know, and, okay, what's the worst that could happen? I don't know when the last time you read 1984 or for Fahrenheit 451 or any of that shit. But, you know, if you think that's not here yet, wake up. It's already here. We're already glued to the television. We are already removed from, you know, actual caring.
Big Brother is watching you.
And Big Brother is a fucking AI data stream that's already in play. It's already watching what you're doing. It's already figuring out what you're going to buy, what kind of fucking cereal you like, you know, what size shoes you wear, what movies you like. Everything is already there. It's already in place.
They're my best friend.
It's what they're going to do with it. And I think...
Well, we're living in the Matrix, dude.
Tactically, if you want to talk about, you know, people using this system, not AI. AI is a completely different argument.
An independent person beyond the government.
I really want to save that. I want to save AI.
Sure.
I see screen addiction with all the students. Yeah, everybody that has a smartphone in their pocket is generally screen addicted, including myself.
Right.
It's hard to not look at it. I'm fucking looking at it right now because I have text messages and I don't want to miss anything.
I guess there's this book about, like, it's reward. It's a reward-based system.
If you don't...
No. It's a reward system, us having the phone. So it's instant gratification on every level, whether it's small or large.
It's non-powdered cocaine. It's for your brain. It makes you happy every time something happens. That you get to see a thing. It's like, ooh, look.
Right.
Ooh, we're eating candy. It's fun. So, tactically,
if you take a phone away from someone, the anxiety sets in.
Exactly, because they don't know what's going on. They don't want to miss something. They're
It's
missing
like
what's going on.
a limb.
But think
like
about,
I've done it before.
Once you leave it at home and you remove it from the system for a day, you're anxious over it at first. But if you can make it through that initial withdrawal...
No, I've gone several hours without one.
You don't make it?
No. Well, I mean, there's about a million... I'm watching this. there's about a million things like...
We're making it for consumption on your smartphone.
That I don't necessarily want to talk about on here.
Sure.
But it does help me get through the slow moments during the day when, like...
Your break or your lunchtime.
Right,
or
you need
something
to...
like that.
Right.
You escape. I do the same thing. You know, I'm at work. I'm staring at a monitor or a set of monitors all day long. I stare at computers all day long. And when I go on my break, I want to disconnect from working. So I go outside, and then I stare at my phone. And on Monday, I left my phone in my car, and I have to park in the garage on the 5th floor, which is like 2 blocks away. So it's kind of a walk, not a lot of time, or a bit of time to get there.
Or like you forget to charge your phone.
Not really worth it to get the phone for the day. To have it a few times out when I need it. Like, I could make it without it. And I decided early on in the day, I was like, fuck that. I'm not walking back to the car. My fucking knees are killing me today. I'm not going back to the car to get it. So I left it in the car. And once I made the decision that I wasn't going to go get it and I didn't need it, I had this overwhelming sense of relief.
Well, look, for me, like, the only time I'm really not on my phone, and even then I'm still on my phone, is when I'm with, like, my wife.
Right.
Because then I can let the phone go.
You have something else.
Right.
To do and to talk, somebody to talk to, and
she's the person I'm most connected with through the phone when I'm not with her.
Right.
So she's the phone.
she's your instant gratification reward system. So what I was getting at is, you know, why this matters to anything outside of making you happy and keeping you complacent and keeping you entwined in the bullshit that's inside of it, whether it's news, fake news, Facebook, it's full of fake news, Netflix, entertainment, YouTube, like whatever it is that keeps you in here.
Games.
Right. The purpose behind that is to keep you attached and spending.
This is the Matrix. This is that tube that's connected in the back of our head.
And once
keeping us connected
they figure out neural net, we're all done. And the only tactical purpose behind that system of listening to people and knowing what they're talking about and knowing what they want and all of that ahead of time and the algorithms, the only thing that makes sense for is separating you from your money.
Yeah.
Tactically, that is all this is for. It does not make sense for the government to do anything more
I would probably have more money if I didn't have a phone.
Absolutely. I mean, fuck, these things are $1,000 a piece.
Well, I mean, like an Amazon Prime.
Yeah, because it's so easy. You
2
just
day
go,
free shipping.
I want one of those.
Right, and it'll be here the day after tomorrow.
Oh, that's only $5. I want one of those.
Day after tomorrow. They don't have it at Walmart.
Yeah.
Day after
I'll
tomorrow.
just get one of those.
Day after tomorrow. Every day.
And it's so easy.
And then you got a package coming in every single day.
And that's gratifying because you've just turned your browsing into a physical, interesting artifact. Something that you want. Something that you physically need to have in your hand. So last note about Star Wars Land before we go, because we got to go.
Meanwhile,
I built a lightsaber at Savvy's.
That's a spendy product, isn't it?
It's $200.
Yeah, $200
and $16, I think.
Right after taxes.
Was the tax that included everything?
It's just a handle, right? Or do you get a light blade?
It comes with a blade. It comes with
You had to carry that shit around all day, or?
I built it kind of early in the morning, and I
walked it back to the hotel and put it in the car.
I built it on the last day we were in the park. You can't have them out in the park anyway. Like, you can get it out to take pictures and shit, but, like, there's no dueling, and they don't want you fucking around with them. But I made the decision...
don't want you to break them and have some kind of situation where it's like, I need a new one, or...
Right, well, because they're warranted, and they don't say very much about it.
Potentially, if you're at Disneyland, you don't necessarily live in California, so if you fucking...
you can ship them in.
Okay.
There are people that have had them, had chassis failures and stuff, and they can ship them in to get replacement parts. But I hardly ever get myself anything when we go there, because it's like, I'm not going to buy a fucking Disneyland t-shirt. Like, I'm not going to...
Chernabog.
I got the Chernabog mug last time because I thought that was cool and it lit up and stuff.
Absolutely.
I still have it.
Yeah, me too. It's not up there anymore. Or is it? No, I think I put it away with a bunch of other things.
I didn't know you had... That's right, you did have one. So I thought that was cool. It's like fucking $28 for a fucking lemonade squishy with a Chernabog's cup. But it was cool, fun. I liked it. That's why I got one.
That's why search and listening data is the most expensive market right now.
Yeah, where, like, your online marketing, that's where the money is. If you can funnel people into something and you can analyze and use that data, you're there. You've made it.
All right, so you made the lightsaber.
So I made the lightsaber, and I don't know, because they didn't have the FX saber that I really wanted.
Mm-hmm. So you got...
I wanted A New Hope Luke, or the original Anakin, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. His is the one that's got, like, the cup.
That's the... What's a Greyflex flash handle? You don't know. Okay, never mind. Son of a bitch, these fucking cables today. So, Luke Skywalker's the one with the, like, angled... That's
so Luke Skywalker.
Jesus.
Never again. Never again.
So, the one that Obi-Wan gives to Luke in 4, in A New Hope.
What is going on with the internet?
So this is Return of the Jedi. It's this one here. Didn't go. That one.
This is the one that you wanted to
That's
make.
the one you can't make. They don't have build replica lightsabers at Savvy's. It's all like kind of original design looking stuff.
Once again, so that they don't have to pay the...
Right. Because they're not... They sell the replica...
So I thought you were talking about
sabers.
this one.
So that's Return of the Jedi. That's the green one.
I like this one.
Luke's blue blade, not the green blade. Yeah.
Right.
So, interesting factoid, Luke's green blade was actually a slightly modified version of Obi-Wan's original from the first movie, which was made out of jet and machine gun parts. I so have learned recently.
Well, if you ever watch Comic Book Man, do you have Amazon Prime?
I do.
Comic Book Man is on there. They have a guy that comes in and he's like, you know, I was told this is from Star Wars and it's the lightsaber handle.
Right.
And then they've got an expert there.
That can figure it out.
Well, and he starts breaking it down like, oh, this is a piece from like a computer that they just kind of put in here. And he's like, this doesn't look like it's from Star Wars New Hope.
Right.
Looks like it's from Empire. So like the guy had like a screen used Empire. But you should really watch that. That's my TESD guys.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know who they are.
Okay.
I'll have to look for those episodes. That sounds interesting. So anyway, I've done like way too much research on it after having been there, because now I want to collect lightsaber hilts for some reason. But it's one of those things, like, this is like a gratification thing. It makes you happy to have things and to have some kind of physical connection to
pop culture.
To pop culture or
pop
media,
culture is what
or
I
media
like.
that you enjoy.
Fucking mainline that
yeah,
shit.
Just shoot it the fuck in there.
Give me that pop culture, not Star Wars.
I don't know. I like Star Wars. I was watching a documentary. I don't know if it's a recent one. I don't think so. But it's about Star Wars, making of it, and the early stuff. But it feels fresher than not. So I don't know. I'll have to get the deets.
You know, it's a good dog. Did you ever watch the movie that I let you borrow? Any of them? Did you find my other movies?
Let's not do
I
this
hate
right
you so
now.
much. So much.
They are
you didn't watch Mandy?
and sound.
Like, I'll let you borrow that because it's good and you should watch it.
I don't watch it. It's sitting right on top of the thing. I don't want to get involved in it and then fall asleep. Like, I can do that with almost everything else. And if you say it's good and that I should watch it, I don't want to fall asleep and then be like, I fell asleep.
Okay, the movie sucks, so you should put it on as a fall asleeper.
I'll put it on and fall asleep.
Alright, okay. I'm Matt Bonta.
That's it. I'm Cory. Have a good night.
See ya.
Fuck it. Just name that one fucking technically.